recent bans. Let's drop the music down and get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Immortal Gaming Diamond Series. It's a best of 3 between XLNC and VB. So, checking in with the teams, we're going to have an immediate Camille ban. She's pretty strong. Her level 2 engage is incredibly strong. She really enjoys getting a buff and then coming in to either grab the Scuttle Crab or head into a lane to cause a lot of problems. Draven can be banned away with the side of XLNC, making sure that you take away a strong ADC. I'm going to assume if I check out op.gg's Trey right now, that we're going to find ourselves, the likelihood is that Trey plays a bit of Draven. Most likely, I would assume they're not banning ADCs just for the sake of banning ADCs. There you go, Draven, 63% win rate. Pretty good there. KDA is actually not that great, 2-12-1, but you know what? You can't always... Oh, 2.12, excuse me, 1. So, 2.5 kills, 2 1/10 kills to every death. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's better to get more kills than die yourself. And there's the Yi banned away from the jungler, Marios. Not letting him play that. Yi is one of those snowballing champions that are pretty powerful. If he gets started in the early game, can definitely roll into that mid game, wiping through people. It's all about timing the alpha strike. You can use that to avoid skill shots, to avoid any CC the enemy team brings out. You will be so incredibly powerful. However, if the enemy team has some point-and-click CC and you mistime the alpha strike, he can get shut down pretty quickly. He's not exactly the tankiest of champions, especially if you bring some heavy armor and burst damage to the table. Azir banned away by XLNC as well, making sure that they're kind of spreading their bans across the lanes, a little bit into bot, mid jungle, mid lane, making sure that everyone gets their one tricks taken off the table. As we don't have 626 playing, we don't have to worry about 626's Cho'Gath, but we gotta check in with what Jhin plays here. We got right now that Camille, top champion, also incredibly good at Ahri as well. That's a pretty amazing, holy moly. His Ahri ratio right now, 8.161 to 1 KDA. That is an incredible KDA. Plays a little bit of everything, mostly top lane, Camille, Riven, Jax, but has dabbled in that mid lane with the Ahri, jungle with the Kayn and the Rex side. Also Irelia, and Vladimir's the lock-in. Okay, so sustain in that top lane. You can actually check out his recent games. He's been playing a bunch of Vladimir, a couple of wins and 1 loss on the normal game for Vladimir, making sure that he gets warmed up for that. He's actually got 10 wins right now, or 9 wins, sorry, 1 loss in his last 10 games. So he wins a lot of games. That's what you can tell from that. As Hecarim gets locked in for Mike Ox into the jungle. So there's no swapping going on right now. Everyone's just picking for their role at this point. Vladimir, Hecarim locked in top lane jungle, keeping things simple. I kind of like it. And there's the Rek'Sai getting locked in for Marios on the side of VB. And Nico gets locked in most likely for the mid lane as well. What is this? Did these games get pro-drafted or something? They might have actually gotten pro-drafted. I wouldn't be shocked if they were. 66 would have to answer in chat as to whether or not they were pro-drafted. Also, quick note, if you are new here, you can bet on these teams once we get into the 3-minute timer. No, they were not pro-drafted. This is live. I wondered about that, and I'm actually super impressed that they are picking. There we go. Finally. Well, hold on. Galio could be flexed from mid to bottom lane supportive role, but I'm going to go with strong guess that it's going to be Applause playing the Galio on that supporter. Galio, one of those level 3 engaged champions, lots of CC and surprising amounts of damage in that bottom lane to take on whatever ADC the enemy team brings. And being able to pick up your support means you still have the potential to counter pick something that the enemy team has. However, they are going to have to pick up something new. So for the side of BB, as we get a couple of bans coming through, they've got themselves looking at the bottom lane ADC themselves and a support. And I definitely think that they're going to want to pick their support. Well, it won't really matter so much. They'll wait for Hurricanes to grab something, and then they'll counter that and probably grab support last pick. They're going to ban away the Thresh, maybe not knowing that Galio is going into the bottom lane supportive role, maybe also wondering if that trade could go through, so just be safe and ban that support nonetheless. There's still one champion that hasn't been banned yet. I'm going to hold my tongue until the last ban comes through. That if this wasn't live, if I had another 3.5 minute timer, I would definitely mention my surprise at it not being banned away. But we still have one more ban option from BB. Morgana banned away by XLNC. Could be mid lane, could be support. It's with that Nico, most likely to the mid lane. There it is, the Sivir banned away from the side of BB, which means we're most likely going to get Vel'Koz for Demonius, maybe an Orianna, but it's whatever champion he feels most comfortable taking against the Nico, and that's the question. You could also, in theory, see a rotation from Vladimir and Demonius, Jhin and Demonius swapping positions, but as Demonius, ooh, hold on, Hurricane's gonna lock into 80 carry roll. All right, I like the Kai'Sa, good late game scaling. That means that Demonius will get the last pick of the game, and that's always a strong thing to do. You really want to make sure that one of your players that consistently shows up. It's one of the things, even in losses, Demonius shows up as a solid player over and over and over. Giving him the opportunity to counterpick everything else in the game is the best thing that you can do. So Jinx gets locked in to counter Kai'Sa. You're taking a little bit of late game hyper scaling champion, but also some good early game damage if she, oh, hold on a moment. So with the Janna locked in by BB, they're looking at other options for XLNC. Again, this Lux could be flexed to mid or supportive role with the Kai'Sa. I definitely think Galio Kai'Sa is a bit stronger as a pairing. That taunt coming through from Galio is pretty strong. He's got the knockup as well. And there it is! The Vel'Koz locked in for Demonius. I thought for a moment that they might be leaving Demonius on the Galio, picking up some other support when they were hovering the Sona, but they were just trolling with me. So Vel'Koz, it is locked in, traded over. Galio support with the Kai'Sa, as Nyanya and Jinx are going to be picking up their champions. And we did almost get fully down the line. Oh, hold on a second. Is the trade going to come through? Is Applause going to play Vel'Koz support? There's no way. There it is. Traded over. I was about to say, there's no way that they're going to... I mean, I'm sure Applause is fantastic Vel'Koz support, but you cannot beat out Demonius's Vel'Koz. And so I would be very, very surprised if they didn't trade that over. But they did. They did indeed. So how did you get a Grandmaster top lane? He is the coach at Cleveland State. Oh, hopefully it is a more permanent thing. I'll sit down and be the coach analyst. This is his first match with us. So we'll find out. There you go. Hashtag points. Is that not? Oh, there you go. There it is. It is working. I should do that myself. See how much XP I have, and that way I can decide what I want to bet on as we are going to be getting into the betting options now that we are into the actual 3 minutes. We're going to run down the players of their champions. We're going to close this betting. I'm not even sure why that was open. Oh, wait, you know what? Because I just opened one. All right, we're going to start a new bet. Start a new bet. There we go. There's a new one. Betting has been canceled. Everyone was refunded. Now we got a new one. There we go. You're good to go. You're good to go. You might have to do it one more time. Experiment 626. I think you went a little bit early. But for the side of BB, we've got ourselves Beefy Johnson, the Cho'Gath in the top lane, Marios with the Rek'Sai in the jungle, Remove Pants on the Nico in the mid lane, Trey with the Jinx 80 carry, and Nyanya and Janna, bottom lane supportive role. On the side of XLNC, Jhin, welcome, first time playing with the team. Got Vladimir in the top lane, Mike Oxmal Bros with the Hecarim in the jungle, Demonius the God in the Vel'Koz in the mid lane, Hurricanes with the Kai'Sa 80 carry, and Applause on the Galio support. So, let's discuss for the side of BB, what a CC layered team. You've got Rek'Sai who can jump in with those knockups, Cho'Gath with the knockups as well, Nico with the roots, Jinx with the traps, Janna with the knockups. All they need is a Yasuo to clean this team up and call it a day with all those knockups. However, obviously Yasuo not getting picked up. They are looking for some skirmishes. They do, towards the later half mid-game, are going to have a pretty beefy Cho'Gath in that front line. However, Cho'Gath in the early game is pretty gankable, so I'm expecting Marios to spend a little bit of time on that top side, making sure that the Cho'Gath stays safe, because Hecarim is an excellent ganking champion, especially as soon as he hits that level 6. But even pre-6, he can come flying around the bend and knocking that Cho'Gath into the Vladimir. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is that when you're on the blue side, you're actually a little bit more protected because you have a really big rock wall that you have to deal with on that top side, whereas the Vladimir is going to be a little bit more unprotected. There's a bit of a way to walk into the jungle on that top side for the side of XLNC. So with that being said, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for MikeOx to actually find a good route without having to go through the enemy turret, which you don't really want to do. So it's going to be on Cho'Gath to position well, make sure that Cho'Gath can't just run him down. As we see the Nico versus Vel'Koz. Oh, we got to just talk about XLNC as a whole. They have a massive late game. The Vladimir, the Kaisa, they are going to be huge. Now, Vel'Koz, Hecarim, both good as well, but you really want to be running a full 5-man fight. You want to have that Galio ult hitting multiple people. You want Vladimir Hemoplague to be on multiple people. You want Hecarim's Sphere to be hitting multiple people. So look for XLNC to maybe run 4-1 and wait for that Vladimir to TP into a big 5v5 fight around Drakes, around Barons. It wouldn't be bad at all to try to get that Vladimir a winning lane on the top side against the Cho'Gath, so he's always got a slight edge. Probably not able to just straight up kill the Cho'Gath. He's going to be tanky enough. He can walk away, keep himself safe. However, Vladimir then swap to the bottom side and try to do a split pushing on the bottom side, TP in whenever all 4 other members are there, ready and waiting around the side of the Baron. That's kind of the best way that you can go. You see it a lot in pro plays when that 5th player is split pushing on the bottom, waiting for the TP moment. But we are into game, ladies and gentlemen. Did it register? It has registered now. You can see that Streamlabs coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and do it myself. I'm gonna bet on the red side. I gotta show a little bit of partisan for red team. I'll bet a nice solid 250 on red. Let's go Team XLNC. We are into game, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you just another minute to get your bets in before we close the betting pool. Let's see how this game breaks down. BB collecting a bunch of their members towards that bottom side. Ooh, I got a little bit of a thing going on here. Let me go ahead and turn that off.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
There we go. Fixed and done. I got a bunch of cool new ideas coming in for ways to make spectator mode a little bit better in the future. So I've been inspired by a couple of different things going on between Riot and another group as well. Let's check in as we are in this early game with these Drakes. It's going to be a Mountain Drake to start this game off. So pretty nice if you could get in the early game. Takes down those plates on those turrets a little bit faster. 5-point defense from the side of XLNC, just right across the river, making sure that things are pretty smooth there, and there's no chance that any crazy invades. Considering that it is a Rek'Sai, she's going to have some fast movement around the map, but not necessarily the most aggressive. It's going to be when MikeOx makes a mistake or shows himself in lane that you might see Rek'Sai trying to go for an invade. And it's looking like Hecarim's going to be starting off on those chickens, which means we won't see a leash from either team, and that means we get this start here in the bottom lane. But once again, they're sitting on a ward. This is not good. We've seen this before. The taunt started up by the Gallions, immediately having to run away. Rek'Sai is here. He can try to go in for the taunt. She can try to go in. She flashes in for the knockup. That's what you're looking for. And Marios comes out with first blood into the side of BB. What a great start to the game. And again, we've seen this happen before when you're sitting in that tribush, waiting and thinking that you're going to get that early damage, but you're on a brush. It's been a well-known strat at this point. You might have to start thinking about maybe even sacrificing some of those potions and grabbing a control ward to drop in there and make sure that there's no enemy vision on you, because it's just rough. So, did you guys already have a straw poll up for the betting on who wins? I posted one in general on the Moral Games guys. So thank you so much, Just Express. I greatly appreciate that. No, our betting system is through Streamlabs. We use Streamlabs betting pool to that you can actually bet with XP that you get from watching on the stream. And as you watch the stream, you gain XP, and you can use that XP to bet on the outcome of these games. So, but I greatly appreciate you putting on the straw poll. I'm really curious if you want to whisper me the link. I'll happily check that out, and we'll check that out between this game and next game, and kind of see where things are at. and what people think is going to be happening as Hecarim, level 3, maybe looking for a run around here in the bottom lane, as there are only level 2s down here in the bottom lane. Galio's going in. He's got the 2-man taunt. They've got the Ignite down, and that's going to be immediately taken out Trey before the Hecarim even shows up. Nyanya should be short to follow, and I'm sorry, Bewitching Janna, but Nyanya Cat will not save you this time. You're going to fall down. That's going to be a double kill to the Kai'Sa, and that is so good for XLNC to start the game off with that ADC already having a bounty on their head. 12 CS to 16 is a little bit lower than the Jinx. They were shoved up underneath the turret, but getting that double kill, it's going to kind of reset some of that pressure that they may have started to feel as that first blood came over for the Rek'Sai. However, Mario still has some opportunities to make plays with that Rek'Sai. Root in the mid lane onto Demonius. Vel'Koz taking a good bit of damage in that trade. Nico doing a really good job catching with that Root, getting all the damage from that Q down. Good slow from the Vel'Koz as Rek'Sai was maybe considering making a play. But again, as Rek'Sai, you really want to wait till your flash comes back up before you're trying to make any crazy plays, because you really want to have the power of the flash knockup when you unburrow. That's really one of Rek'Sai's main points, especially when trying to come into the laning phase. So you don't go crazy aggressive. You look for mostly either poke or potentially just some stealing away of enemy camps like these chickens. Ooh, could try to go underneath the wall, maybe make a play on Demonius. However, he's playing very safe towards that bottom side. He had a ward right around the corners. He's actually seen Rek'Sai moving around on this top side, knows that is happening. Janna was maybe considering roaming up, but look at the deep vision down here. When Hecarim ganked, ward, 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 they've got wards and scuttle crabs all over this bottom side. So XLNC putting down some amazing early game vision. They knew the Rek'Sai was around that top side. However, with Marios recalling, should be all right for now. In that top side, Vladimir keeping even with the Cho'Gath in CS. Even though Cho'Gath is a bit gankable in the early game, Vladimir's not exactly the greatest pusher either. He's one of those champions that needs to get a couple levels into his skills so he can get that cooldown reduction, as well as really wants to be setting himself up for a lot of healing. Could use that Spirit Visage in the early portion of the game to get going. Had that wave push in, was able to even out in CS. Pings onto the Hecarim, as has been seen by BB. So, overall, good stuff. Hey, Smartest 2, bonjour, welcome, welcome. How are you doing tonight? Any new casting opportunities in the future? Yeah, now setting up for a tornado in that bottom lane. We've been trying to poke out Hurricanes a little bit. However, the Kai'Sa doing all right so far. No potions, just finished drinking up that last one. But overall staying fairly healthy. Started off the game with a BF sword as Jinx, having gone down, picked up that call. So it'll be a little bit before Trey comes online, especially when it comes to that damage. And we're really waiting on this Galio to find another opportunity to go in for that taunt. Still has the flash available. Hecarim, in the meantime, is counter jungling. Seems like junglers are focused more on countering each other than they are necessarily on trying to counter the lanes and actually fight in those lanes. TP from Cho'Gath used to get to the top side as Vladimir actually either walked. No, he hasn't even backed yet. Vladimir electing not to recall while Cho'Gath was back. And that means that they're going to lose the Drake. Nice Mountain Drake pick up by BB in the early portion of the game. As I said, if you get that before those turret plates fall down, when you get on a turret plate, you deal a lot of damage. But for the moment, XLNC's done a really good job of keeping the members of BB off of those turrets. Really making sure that they can't get to the turrets to deal that much damage. And Cho'Gath picking up that Spirit Visage for himself. Only sitting on Spectral's Cowl at the moment, but that'll still be a nice way to get started in that lane, dealing with some of Vladimir's damage, the little of it that he has without having back at all. There's that recall coming in. Expecting to see a TP, but maybe could see if Cho'Gath is going to slow push the lane, and he can walk to lane. But even if he does, having that TP would only be helpful when it comes to maybe going to the bottom side of the map, as they've already lost that Drake. And so, yep, he's just going to teleport back to the top side, go right back to farming. Instead of going to Spectral's Cowl, he actually got Fiendish Codex. So looking for a little bit more ability power. Marios is around the corner. We could see Rek'Sai gank here in a moment. Waiting for Vladimir to commit to a fight. And then Rek'Sai goes in. She's got her flash back up and available. Going in, looking for the knockup. Immediately the emo plague by Jen. He's flashing. He wants to kill the Rek'Sai before he goes down. She's going to flash in to get the knockup. His healing's pretty good. He goes into the pool. This might be Mario's going down. The Q's going to be enough. But Cho'Gath will trade, making sure that it's a 1-for-1. But good stuff from Jin on that top side. Said, you know what? If I'm going to go down, I'm going to at least take one of you with me. And, whoa, Nico ultimate going to root up Demonius, but the auto attack comes through. Don't even need spells to finish you off, Nico. You were already low. A great setup by Demonius in that mid lane. Gets the knockup, follows up with Disintegrating Ray. Good movement by Nico. She flashed to the side, and that's that forward thinking. Has that shield with the Pop Blossom to try to survive a little bit longer. However, that shield, especially in the early levels, that is a rank 1 ultimate, not going to deal that much, not going to protect that much. And so she still went down. And oh, Mike Ox, you were in a bad spot. Might have been best to just run straight to that blast cone. He's going to ult away. Rek'Sai looking like she still wants to chase. Throws out a Q. That's about it, though. Yeah, might have been best to try to go to the blast cone and use that blast cone to hop into the dragon pit. But nonetheless, ult was used. Is able to escape, and now Rek'Sai can come towards the bottom side. Marios doesn't have flash, just use it on that top side to help Cho'Gath pick up a kill there. 2 kills to 4 at the moment, but we are tied up in gold. On the bottom side, the Kai'Sa's actually picked up that static shiv, I believe it is. No, it's a shard. Sorry, building into potentially static shiv. Trying to get a little bit extra crits. Oh man, that Nico damage in the mid lane is getting painful. If you take too many of those pokes, you're gonna be in a bit of trouble. Smartest, if you want to hop in, I'm not against that. I made a post earlier tagging guest casters if they wanted to cast with me, but no one responded. As Hecarim comes into the mid lane, Pop Blossom going to be used by Nico, but it doesn't land onto anyone. Now she's going to be in trouble. Hecarim's going to flash in. However, he's probably going to go down to the turret. Rek'Sai making sure that he will fall and picking up a second kill of the game. Can now move in, but Demonius has a nice Q for the slow. Throws out a Disintegration Ray as well. The ultimate from the Rek'Sai puts her underneath the turret. Are you kidding me? Now she's going to go down. Demonius gets the Galio ultimate coming in as well. Trey is here. Joined by the Janet Galio, looking for the flash shot onto 2 members, but Demonius doesn't have the spells up and available. Galio's getting as much damage down. The barrier from Demonius keeps him alive. Flashes forward. He's just going to miss, and now the Jinx can use that over-positioning and over-aggression from Demonius. Pick up not only that kill, but can use the quickness to reposition to potentially chase down Applause as well. We'll see if those rockets are enough. Looks like the Galio's been able to escape. As in the meantime, a little bit of battle in the top lane. Mostly these beefy top laners are just slapping each other with those spells. In the end, Jin's gonna be a little bit lower in health, but this Vladimir can heal massively. Look at those heals, so we'll see how it goes. We're probably just gonna keep hitting each other, healing, and fighting over CS, which is perfectly even at this point. A little bit of a cool there from Vladimir. Cho'Gath is just chunking through his mana. That is not exactly what you want to see. Once he's out of mana, he's got no other alternative except to wait and try to regen it back up. He has Feast available. Maybe he was hoping to burst the Vladimir low and then feast for a finish. There's no flash on either top laner. They're about even on that cooldown as well. So we'll see. I'm not sure why the camera's sticking around. I guess this is the most interesting thing that's going on in the game. Want to check in with the next Drake. Is another Mountain Drake. First Drake was secured by BB. So that is something to keep your eyes on. If they get 2 of those turrets are going to fly right down. Mario's coming in. The last time that the Rek'Sai gank, he went down. Hemoplague used once again by Jin. He's trying to just avoid some of that CC from the Cho'Gath. Definitely not going to get the kill on Rek'Sai as Mario's just immediately pieced out after that Hemoplague was burned. However, they got the ultimate down. That's pretty good. Applause looking for the double man taunt. Will get it. And now they can turn on to Trey. Take him down. Hecarim jumping underneath the turret. Takes another one down. It's actually Hurricanes that picks up the other 2 kills. So that is a total of 4-0 on the Kai'Sa. Hurricanes just being fed so much gold. Has already completed the Stormrazor's Edge. That's a massive amount of crit. Once again, Disintegration Ray used, but the clone actually caused Demonius to hesitate. And so the Vel'Koz not going to get the kill as Nico was able to escape. However, all the damage down here on this bottom lane turret should secure first turret of the game from the side of XLNC, and they can rotate and pick up a Mountain Drake of their own, which will be so incredibly critical to even up those Drakes. Again, the first Drake that you get of any type gets double effect. So if you can make sure that you're evening up how fast you can deal damage to those neutral structures, especially when it comes to the fights around Barons and those Elder Drakes, if you can smite that for just that little bit of extra damage, and or at least in this case, be even with the enemy jungler, that is so much better than being down, of course. Lieutenant 83, how is the main man Volibear doing himself? I had a quick question. I watched a stream in which there was somebody who ran Volibear top lane, and the casters were discussing what runes to take. I think they were, I'm not sure which ones the Volibear that was in the game actually ran with. Might have been Klepto, but, or Grass of the Undying. I'm curious, what is your favorite rune to take on Volibear in the top lane? So, Jin is Grandmaster. Yeah, he's so good. He's good. We'll have to see. Oh, Just Express, you would have come as a guest caster? Well, feel free to jump into the Discord. I'll go ahead and drop the link. I need to make sure that that is a bit easier to see. I've got some things I want to fix and update a little bit on the stream to make sure that you guys get the best content that you can. But included in that is easier access to the Discord. If you are a caster or want to cast, I'm happy to go ahead and give you the guest caster role, and that way when opportunities and availabilities come along that you can cast with me, I drop that tag in the caster chat specifically for casters, and you'll get notified when something comes available. But in a moment, 4 kills to 8, XLNC leading by about 3,000 gold. Plates have fallen off, so it's all up to the turrets themselves and what these teams can do. There's been a lot of skirmishing in these lanes, but again, XLNC doesn't mind this. They're looking more towards the later stages of the game, where they got all 5 members. Oh, nice taunt on the top side. However, the junglers are fighting over Rift Herald. Shelly not up yet. It's what's gonna be. Rek'Sai ulting, does a lot of damage, but Demonius is here to help assist, and Mycox will pick up the kill. I think the, yeah, Rek'Sai even flashed in, trying to finish off that kill. Jin on the top side, taking up the turret, has the pool to reset it, and it's just kill after kill after kill. Nico as well, removed hands, tries to get the Pot Blossom, but Mycox just going to flash that. I said Hurricane because of the Hurricane Blade that Hecarim can do, the Spinny Blade of Death. But he gets out, burns ult for flash. Not exactly the best trade in the world, so Nico does live through using that ultimate. However, won't have it for a big team fight, and still has to leave the jungle. Look at that control ward that has been placed. Wow! What? You guys saw that, right? Is that new? Was that fixed by Riot? Is that something new and different? That is a massive Janna shield. I don't know if they purposefully did that, or if that was a graphical error. I'll have to wait for Janna to shield another turret again. That was a huge Janna shield. That was massive. He ate up half of the screen. Yeah, I'm impressed by that. All right, Galio ultimate in mid lane, finds a knockdown to remove pants, and Nico having sent to the side, but he's got the Rek'Sai here. Galio undeterred will go in. There's a disintegration ray. Rek'Sai's down. However, Demonius is rooted up. The rest of the team from BB are backing away. They're all on the run, going back to the turret to regroup as 5. But keep in mind, that's what XLNC wants to fight as. They want to be grouped as 5. However, they've burned a bunch of their ultimates recently. The Galio ult is down, Kai'Sa's ult is down, Demonius' ult is down. So they probably want to back up, just play a little bit defensive, sit back to get that wave clear down until those ultimates come back up. Applause still sticking around here in the mid lane. Look at the vision, has a control ward, knows that they cannot see this Galio, and could set up. Oh, Nico trying to make a potential play. Rek'Sai did secure the Rift Herald earlier, and because of lack of time, will drop it in the base. So Shelly will have a long walk down the mid lane before eventually crashing, and that's going to give the Hecarim and the Kai'Sa time if they want to join up to fight here. Vladimir's on the top side jungle. Trey down to about half out in the mid lane, poking out. Demonius is going to be low. However, there's the call for Galio to go in. Hit by the tornado from Janna, but it doesn't matter because Hecarim's flying into the back line. Try to take down Trey. The Jinx flashes, and Mycox will drop to the Pot Blossom of the Nico. A little bit too aggressive going underneath the turret. However, it is a trade 1-for-1. Janna for jungler, though, is not exactly the best trade in the world. And look at the super mega death rocket from Trey. Flying in from downtown. Takes down the Cho'Gath. Remove pants. Gonna be dropping to Kai'Sa, who gets a great Void Seeker. Can flash in. Get Trey as well. The backline has arrived, and everyone from the side of BB is falling. Rek'Sai will take one with him as he's trying to flee away. The flash forward from Jin. The E will not hit. However, Applause will get a little more damage, but Cho'Gath, being a nuisance from behind, gets the knock-up. And that is going to slow things down. Can't progress any further. So Rek'Sai gets out. 3, 4, and 1, though. Not exactly the star we saw at the very beginning of the game. He's fallen a couple of times. Janna coming into the mid lane, but Vladimir, look at his damage. He's going to go ahead and try to get a little more damage onto Nyanya. But the feast from Cho'Gath said, you're coming out of the pool and into my belly. And now can turn onto Applause. The Galio getting knocked up. Ignite already ticking away. Applause is Justice Punch gonna be blocked by BP Johnson. In the meantime, though, Hecarim has come back up, run out from the base, picks up one from the Janna one more time from behind. We'll get a little bit of a kill there. However, this Cho'Gath is becoming a problem. He's already picked himself up that adaptive helm and is going to be pretty darn tanky. We'll have to check on his scoreline as the game continues to progress. Remove Pants with that Nico, seeing what she can do. If she can find the root, that's going to set up the rest of the team to collapse. Oh, Hecarim sees multiple members, thinks twice about going in. However, Vel'Koz is here. It's fight, fight, fight all day long, baby. There is no calm, no rest. Who cares about pushing lanes when you can just look for kills? The Ocean Drake started up by XLNC, but they immediately back away, maybe trying to bet BB into fighting once more. Vel'Koz getting a little bit more poke down. The blue buff also coming in to join the battle. And that's going to be the Ocean Drake smited away by XLNC, so they do get it. Good pick up there. And they didn't lose too much health. And with that Ocean Drake, that is some good sustain. And keeping that off of the Cho'Gath is absolutely incredible. You do not want Cho'Gath to have that sustain when the game gets super late. His regen's already going to be insane. And then added an Ocean Drake to it, he will just be a full health tank all the time. However, with this, that means the siege can be gone. There it is, the Janna Massive Shield once again. I have to assume the Riot did that purposefully to make sure everyone knows that the Janna Shield is happening. Vladimir's going to be going in. Jin seeing what he can do. Just gonna get a little bit of damage back away. There's the redemption, though, from the side of XLNC. Getting a little bit of health back. Demonius down to about half. He doesn't have his ultimate up and available just yet. The BBs are here just to defend this mid lane turret. There's Cho'Gath recalling, though. He was sitting on 1,800 gold. Wanted to be able to spend that and back away, as Baron is going to be spawning here in just 30 seconds. So with that, both teams have said, you know what, that mid lane turret went down. Let's back away, take a bit of a breather, which we desperately need. Buy some items. The Kai'Sa sitting on 2.5 and has been farming in the side lanes. Highest farm in the game, 168, even over the Vladimir and the Vel'Koz. So good stuff there. Gonna check in real quick on the chat. Right, make Janna's shield more visible. 10,000 times more visible, just about. I'll go Conqueror because it's strong. Lethal Temple for the lulz, but I don't have more as a build. It's odd, makes him super weak and late because he has a tank, but it's fun. Lieutenant, I think that your link will be eaten by the stream. However, if you send it to me in a whisper or DM it to me on Discord, I will post it myself. So, Rek'Sai, a bit of a farm lead over the Hecarim, but everyone else inside of XLNC, including the support, it does have that farm lead over BB. Gonna set a nice 4,000 gold lead. That's not too far from it being just straight up the end of the game. It's not that 10,000 gold lead by 15 minutes. It spells complete demise, but it's still strong. One of the things I like from XLNC showing so far this game is their commitment to getting vision early and then keeping it up. Some of these things, like this control ward here in that mid lane, has been there for most of the game, and their commitment to keeping that vision up is just so good. Rek'Sai maybe trying to make a play in the mid lane. All right, sees that they're on the run. Good movement by the Galio and Kai'Sa as they saw that Rek'Sai and just said, you know what, let's play it safe. Let's make sure that Rek'Sai can't come from behind us, get a two-man knockup or anything crazy. Also, applause. Now, as noticing, seeing as the game has gotten past that 20-minute mark, starting to play that peel champion around the Kai'Sa. No more being completely off in the side lane. It's Vladimir that's split pushing at this point. They've gotten the Kai'Sa ahead, and now Kai'Sa can join for these actual fights, whereas Vladimir can start those split pushes on the side lane to deal with Cho'Gath, though he will be a monster to deal with for sure. When you talk about raid bosses, you're talking about Beefy Johnson. The name is perfect for the champion at this point. Still looking around this Baron as the Baron dance continues. XLNC fighting for vision, seeing what they can do. The out rotation though by BB. They're trying to go for the turret. They've got a wave though that's holding them off. This Kai'Sa's gonna be coming in with the supercharge. The TP coming in from the Cho'Gath. Vladimir cannot stop this. Is guaranteed to be a 4v5. Vladimir TP started up at the turret. However, they're split up. Kai'Sa is all alone on the backside. Hecarim gonna be flashing in, looking for the ultimate. There's the Galio ultimate as well. Kai'Sa's going in, flashes away. Forcing out the Nico ultimate that doesn't hit anyway. Cho'Gath is taking down about half. Disintegration Roy will make sure that it goes down to 0. And the Void Seeker will set up a couple people, extra kills for Jin as well. He's gonna go golden underneath the turret, reset as well. He's gonna heal and live to talk another day. That is a near ace for the side of XLNC with some great positioning and the commitment from Mike Ox. into the middle of 5 for the Galio ultimate to come in as well, as we get the Sauron Eye of Death trying to protect this inhibitor turret, but that is definitely going to be BB's middle inhibitor turret going down. The inhibitor quick to follow as well. 20 kills to 9. Not going to be the end of the game just yet, as everyone from the side of BB are respawning, but a fantastic victory for XLNC after that fight. Catching a bit of a breath. Baron is live, and there is massive amounts of vision from XLNC around it. Just look at this ward coverage, but BB says to say, you know what? While they have all recalled, do we try to rush the Baron down? Is this the call that we want to make? They haven't committed to that, though. They have backed away. That would be one of the desperation plays you can make in a situation like that, thinking you might have the damage to burst it down. But keep in mind, it is only a 2-item Jinx at this point. The Runaan's Hurricane, not going to do that much. The IE is good, but how can you handle a 3-item Kai'Sa, 7, 1, and 4, extra pickaxe as well, just to top off, be that cherry on the top of her current build. We also have a 2.5 item completed Vel'Koz. Disintegration Ray, so good at being able to take down this Cho'Gath and his tankiness, especially when he gets poked out. I'm trying to zoom out to catch vision of the fact that this next Drake has started up. It's another Mountain Drake picked up by XLNC, so they've got 2 of those, and they can even easier pick up that Baron when they eventually jump on it. I'm going to try, rather than switching to my full teamfight page, you can actually just drop this. How does that look? It looks a little bit better. I wanted to kind of check in and see what that looked like. I wanted to set up an entire page so that I can just drop this and take some of these side pieces off, make it a little bit easier to kind of see some of the team fights without taking everything off in our team fight scenes. Get a little bit more vision of the map. Vel'Koz, though, being caught out. Might go down, uses the barrier. He's trying to get to the wall, and he fails the flash. Demonius is going to be gone. The Baron is picked up by XLNC, though. The undesired sacrificial lamb, Demonius, falls. But the chase from BB, can they catch any of these members out? Marios is trying to chase and flashes forward, gets a knockup. That's onto Hurricanes, the Kai'Sa. She's going to be in trouble. Hecarim is diving in, looking for the fear onto 2 members. Nico off to the side. Let's see what she can do, as Mycox is going to be dropping low, but Nico goes golden before the ultimate really can complete, and now she's going to fall as well. The Hecarim did drop, however, it's still a 3-4-2 despite Demonius being caught out. Jin trying to deal with Beefy Johnson in the mid lane, drops a Hemo play. Galio going to come in as well. He's going to have the taunt. Both members have knocked up. Beefy Johnson still has feast. Can he hold off long enough to feast someone down? Looking for applause. That's the target. The Galio's going to be dropping low. Beefy Johnson's got a moment, but no, I think he actually ran out of mana before able to get that feast off. Applause, able to help Jin take down the raid boss, but you saw how tanky he was at the 25-minute mark. They're also going to secure themselves a second turret on the top side, so they definitely have some strengths. They're going to set those recall timers once again, back by reset, head back into potentially pushing for one of these other inhibitors. I want to check in. It's another Drake, this time another second Ocean Drake coming up, as we have had triple mountains so far, and I think that might be the last Drake of the game, as the game has progressed a little bit later and later. However, when you are split up like BB, despite finding a good catch on Demonius, they had Cho'Gath in the mid lane doing nothing by himself. He needed to be that frontline tank for BB, but he was all by himself. And now Remove Pants going to be hit by the Disintegration Raid just in time. Demonius picks up the kill before she's able to sneak her chameleon self away. So that is yet another kill for himself. 7-3 and 5 score line. So good at timing the damage on that ultimate. You got to know the limits of your champions. However, I gotta say for BB, this Cho'Gath is just becoming huge. If he's with the team and they can be some damage faces for him, he's almost pushing 4,000 health, excuse me. Doesn't have a Warmog just yet. Went instead for the Righteous Glory. Only second tier turret will fall. Janus Shield not going to be able to do that much to stop that. Demonius getting chunked out just a little bit by those rockets. And I think it was the zap from the Jinx that actually did most of the chunk. Vladimir's pushing into the mid lane. Getting those Baron up, super minions onto the Nexus turrets. Remove Pants there trying to hang out. See what Nico can do to stop those minions from taking down the turret. Nico pretty good about wave clear at this point in the game. Just a root and a Q to knock down a bunch of minions. So when they're Baron up, things are going to be a little bit slower. The siege continues in the bottom lane. The Kai'Sa, not exactly the longest range champion, so she has to wait on that rapid fire cannon to come up, walk in, get a single auto attack off, and then back away. but the Baron up cannon still continue to poke away at the bottom lane turret. They've got a little bit of time. Top lane's also got a way of pushing in. That turret quick to fall as well. Vladimir is once again, hold on, that middle inhibitor gonna be coming back up, and now the Vladimir might be in trouble. Galio ultimate coming in, however, the Rek'Sai gonna go golden, try to stay alive for a moment longer, has the GA pop. Jhin might go down, a nice jump will keep, and a pool as well, but the ignite ticks down. Nico picking up the kill onto the Vladimir. In the meantime, though, the rest of the team engaging. Those turrets are starting to fall on the top side. The bottom side inhibitor is also gone. Mike Ox will fall, sacrifice his life to allow the disintegration raid channel from Demonius the God to pick up another kill. Kais is actually the one who gets it and takes it down. Jinx with that Q. However, the team is all dying. This is a super messy fight. And look at the shutdowns that are coming through. The Kaisa shutdown gold given over to the Rek'Sai. However, BB have lost all their inhibitor turrets and inhibitors. So a little bit of fight one, but very unclean as XLNC tried to push in and finish the game off. Thought they could get one more clean ace. They might be able to do it. However, huge kudos to Mario's on this Rek'Sai, who had the stopwatch to go golden for a moment. Also had the GA as well. People spent so many spells and abilities trying to take down the Rek'Sai, but good CC, and you can see from these tunnels just massive ability to move all over this base and just make sure that everyone's kind of looking all over every which way trying to track this Rek'Sai, and Janna doing a good job staying alive as well. So shutdown gold for a couple of members of BB, able to pick those up. However, with all of their inhibitors down, they really don't have much opportunity to leave the base. They're just gonna have to sit, defend, clear these waves as they come in, leave the second Ocean Drake for XLNC. There's no Baron up just yet, but it will be coming in about another 2 minutes. And it's up to XLNC to really clean up this game. I want to see them just wrap it up in a clean fight. Don't do anything crazy. They had members that were trying to dive past Nexus turrets to get a couple of kills. When it's unnecessary, you don't have to do that. You've got the wave in the top lane freely pushing for you. You've got the bottom lane inhibitor turret that you've secured. You don't have to be fighting under double Nexus turrets. Let the minions do the work. They now don't have Baron on any of their members. I don't believe. I think it's actually just timed out. I think the Vel'Koz was able to get out alive with the Baron buff, but it just timed out. Now they're moving in, trying to get these super minions to slowly push in, start to harass away on the Nexus turret. Baron is alive. They could rotate and try to grab it and come back in again. Vladimir once again stepping forward aggressively. Tornado from Janik to miss completely. He's going to set the Hemo Plague onto 3 members. See what he can do to push him out. And after him, under the Nexus turret. There's a much proper engage. Rek'Sai gets the knockup onto the Kaisa. Even with the ultimate, though, Rek'Sai still going to drop. Hurricanes lives through it all. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an ace for XLNC. And game 1 secured in just over 30 minutes in a pretty decisive manner. Despite one unclean fight around the Nexus, it's victory for Team XLNC. Oh, and I got some blue essence because I watched some MSI games today. Yeah, gotta have that come through. Gotta have that come through. There we go. Good game. If you got the GG emotes, drop them in chat. And if you did bet earlier during the Streamlabs betting phase, I'm going to go ahead and secure that now. Congratulations to you. Enjoy your XP. Good stuff there. We're going to talk about this game for just a moment before we move into game number 2. We'll take a quick break, but before we get to that, this game, good stuff from XLNC. Things that I liked. Their commitment in the early game to rotate. Applause. Coming up from the bottom lane fairly early on to join Demonius, trying to keep him alive as the Hecarim was farming, and Rek'Sai continued to kind of harass Demonius in this mid lane, and sat in that side brush with the control ward, just waiting for those taunts. Galio so strong at being able to get multi-man taunts as well as that ultimate for engage protection. And the second thing was Mike Ock's commitment to diving into 5 members, knowing that he had the capacity for a little bit of fear and Galio was coming in behind. That's that kind of team synergy that you want to see out of these teams as they're trying to play at the top level. For the side of BB, the good, the bad, the ugly. The Cho'Gath, able to hold his own fine against the Vladimir on that top side, despite him being a little bit of a slower champion at the end of the game. Great early game out of the Rex side. Was 2-0 at one point. We're starting the game off fairly strong. And I like the build as the game progressed later, saying we need to have more tank. We need to let our carries deal the damage. So to do that, I'm going to build a Guardian's Angel. Even started to build that Spirit Visage potentially as well. Or at least the Cloak, the Spectre's Cowl. Started to build that to get a little bit tanky, to give something for the carries to actually have a front line. However, it wasn't fast enough. It wasn't quick enough. And with that, they did go down. I want to see much better positioning out of Trey and Yanya. It doesn't matter what champions they pick. I want to see better positioning. They died so many times, not respecting the potential for the Galio Flash ultimate. And even with you warding the river, it's not enough when you know that a Hecarim can diving in. You need to ward deeper, because Hecarim can use that blast cone, hop over the wall, and find a nice ulti engage. Even pre-ulti can still find an engage and set that Kai'Sa off so well in the early game in the bottom lane. Hurricanes ending the game 13-2-5. Definitely something to watch for, and probably going to have Kai'Sa banned against them in game number 2. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed the show and are new, feel free to drop that follow. We shoutcast games just like this Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll be right back.